Hello, and welcome back to another video. So, my top 10 Dreamcast games. Top 11 it's the top 10 Dreamcast games. So I'm gonna be completely flatly honest with you. I don't like the Dreamcast as much as I like the Saturn. Put that out there. It's one of those contrarian opinions. I think my friend has described me as a contrarian, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's the best compliment I can possibly get, is you don't like stuff that the vast majority of people like, or you like stuff the vast majority of people either don't know about or don't like. My favourite game is an action strategy game with Jack Black wielding an axe and a guitar named Clementine. You tell me if I like stuff that most people like. Anyway, we're going to kind of go through my top 11 Dreamcast games. I say top 11 because two share the same spot because they're basically the same game. I just like both of them just as much. So, we'll start from the bottom. Number 10. What could number 10 be? House of the Dead 2. I love House of the Dead. Absolutely my favourite light gun franchise of all time. I will probably be picking up the remake and the second remake for the PS5, I think. Probably not the Switch, definitely the PS5. Also, if Forever Entertainment can get on with releasing Panzer Dragoon's Y remake, that would be great, please. Anyway, House of the Dead 2. The only reason House of the Dead 2 is here and not Typing of the Dead is because I don't own Typing of the Dead yet. It's on my list. It's on my list to own Typing of the Dead, but for now, House of the Dead 2 is a more than substantial replacement. I'm a real big fan of this game. It's just genuinely a lot of fun. It's fucking stupid, like they all are. They're all so dumb. They're all so fucking dumb, but I love them to pieces. About the only one I don't own is 4. I think 4 had a PS3 download only version. I could be wrong. If there is a physical release of that fucking game, I am finding it. I like 4. 4's really good. 4's the one you see probably the most commonly in the in any of the remaining arcades. Swiftly followed by 1. I've seen 1 and 4. I've never seen 2 and 3 out in the wild at any arcade I've been to. That being said, I don't frequent arcades that often. As much as I would like to run an arcade, I'd run an arcade quite happily. Make absolutely no money, but I think it'd be great. An arcade bar. I think there's one where I live, or near where I live. We'll go find it. When my wife and I inevitably have our week off, maybe in May, we'll just go and find an arcade place. That'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, House of the Dead 2. Solid game. This is the only... Is it the only fighting game? Yeah, solid. It's the only fighting game you're going to see on there. Techromancer. Now, I love a game with a giant dumb mech that lets you beat up other giant dumb mechs. Exhibit A for Cyberbots Full Metal Madness for the Saturn. For the Switch. It is on Switch, though. I don't know if Techromancer is, and get this, both made by Capcom. So, I don't know if Techromancer is actually on the fighting game collection. If it is, go play it. This game is amazing. It's also fucking expensive. It was very expensive. I think it's like 70, 80 quid now. And I've owned some of the rarer games on the Dreamcast. Specifically, what have I owned on the Dreamcast? Skies of Arcadia. Yeah, I've owned Skies of Arcadia. I hated it. I bought it for 20 quid and then I sold it for about 120. So, whatever. But yeah, Techromancer. This was a hard one to track down. And I'm shit at fighting games. I will lay that on the table. I am terrible at them. Makes me seriously heavily question why I'm buying for the Neo Geo CD, considering of the games I've got, most of them are fighting games. All of them are fighting games, apart from 2, which I currently have. I think I've got 2 in the post still, but yeah, vast majority of fighting games. I'm terrible at them, so also brings to question why number 8 is the Power Stone series. I haven't got a case for 2, or I haven't got the front sleeve for 2. Yeah, I've got the back sleeve. Great. We'll be getting a printed version. I really like these games. I really like Power Stone. They are excellent. They are absolutely excellent. I need more... I don't know what to call them. It's sort of... They're more 3D fighters rather than sort of like 2D sort of side-scrolling stuff that you get with Techromancer. They're more like... It's more like a barroom brawl rather than an actual fighting game. You're throwing tables at people, you're transforming into a guy with fucking wheel scythes for hands, you're throwing around punches, there's a guy who's a mech, there's a guy who dresses like an old school fighter pilot. They're just so fucking charming. I really, really, really like Power Stone. Quite a lot. They are a lot of fun, and I'm so glad I own those games. Recommend. Get Power Stone. Also, actually, in the fighting game re-releases that Capcom's been doing recently, along with Cyberbots. So Cyberbots, I think Techromancer, and both of the Power Stones are now available on like Switch and PlayStation 5 or 4, might be PlayStation 4. Which is awesome. That's so cool. I might pick them up. I might pick them up, actually. Yeah, fuck it. I think I'm going to pick those up because I've got Power Stone on the PSP as well, so that I could play Power Stone on the go. But now I could get it on Switch. Don't need the PSP. Sorted. Next up, number 7, Outrigger. Yeah. Just to forewarn you, this is not a list where you're going to see majoritively popular things. You're not going to see Shenmue. You're not going to see Shenmue 2. You're not going to see Jet Grind Radio, or Jet Set Radio as it's known in, the rest of the actual world. You're not going to see games on here that are particularly common or favorited, apart from one. We'll get to that. But Outrigger, yeah, it's a third-person shooter, multiplayer, with a multiplayer versus. Really strictly built around sort of small arenas shooting dudes with guns. And it's cool. It's a sick game. I'm very bad at it. But I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You'll see 2 other games on this... Yeah, 2. 2 other games on this list that are basically the same. Sort of an arcade style shooter, or sort of brawler, sort of beat 'em up, kind of third person style of game. The other one being Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Now, this was the first... I think this was actually the first Dreamcast game I got. Maybe. By Big Ben Interactive. And Capcom, again. I don't know who... AM2. So, Outrigger was Sega. This is Capcom again. Here's the kicker. I don't like Capcom games. The vast majority of the time, I don't actually find them that appealing. But I've got a good number of them in my top 10, 11, for the Dreamcast. And Heavy Metal Geomatrix is definitely up there. It's back in the 90s/80s/ early 2000s. I don't know if it's still around. But there was a magazine, graphic novel comic thing, called Heavy Metal. It had a movie in the 80s, which was weird. And then it had Heavy Metal 2000. Now, they made two games of Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Heavy Metal. And Geomatrix was the Dreamcast port, or the Dreamcast release. It's basically... I'm going to call them Virtual On likes. If you've played Virtual On, which is you in an arena versus an opponent or series of opponents, sort of scooting around cover in that capacity. This is like that. as is this, as is a game further up the list that is just flat out my favourite on the system because it's just so good. I really love it. But Heavy Metal Geomatrix. Do I recommend this one? Yeah, I do. It's tough. It's a tough game. It's brutal, but it's a lot of fun. I don't think it's as good as the next 5 games. The next 5 games are just games I really, really enjoy. I think they are absolutely fantastic or just fun. A lot of these are multiplayer, which is odd because I don't tend to drag the Dreamcast out to play multiplayer games on that often. That would be the original Xbox or the GameCube. Those are my go-tos because I've got so many controllers for it. To be fair, I've got a lot of controllers for the Dreamcast as well, but I don't like the Dreamcast controller. That's a big part of why I don't play it that often, is because I hate its controller. I hate its controller. I absolutely hate it. Its thumbstick is terrible. Which makes playing games like, if I can move it into a position I can read the fucking disc, because I haven't got the actual case. Mac and X. Yeah, Mac and X. If you don't know what Mac and X is, it is a game in the Shin Megami Tensei series, which also has the spin-off series of Persona. And Mac and X, or Mac and Shao, as it was re-released, but we'll go on to that. Mac and X is a first-person hack and slash, where you're basically running around the world, trying to prevent some sort of apocalypse, and you are a sentient sword that has absorbed the soul of a Japanese high school girl, because Japan, and you basically then have to cyberlink Japan with a number of people from across the planet, and each of those people has different fighting styles. So the main one I tend to use when I play this game is a guy who has a tongue that just does this on the main screen, and it doesn't look like a tongue. It looks like something else, and he can spit blades out of it. Japan. But Mac and X is a very odd game. It did get a re-release on the PS2 called Mac and Shao. So Mac and X is first person, Mac and Shao is third person, and is a lot more playable as a result. If you're really desperate to play this particular game, I don't really recommend the Dreamcast version. I like the Dreamcast version, but it is very constrained by its controls. The PS2 version plays a bit more like, say, Devil May Cry, and is better for it. You have greater... It's because the field of view is like this. You can't really see sort of past the end of your nose, or indeed past the end of your tongue, on the screen. So, if you're going to play it, play Mac and Shao. But it's still in my top 5 quite handily. Number four. So, I have bought, historically, a few games from America, and one of those is the, I'm going to say, insensitive Ooga Booga. Ooga Booga, you are a tiki guy, or tiki guys, sort of running around a series of open world maps, beating the crap out of each other. 4 different witch doctors, which, yeah. Here's the kicker. Ignoring that, which, here's the thing. We had a lot of Tiki inspired stuff. Towards the end of the 20th century, we had it with Ooga. Is he called? Can't remember his name. The guy from Crash Bandicoot. Him. He had him. Ooga Booga. He even goes Ooga Booga. So, whatever. But this is a very fun sort of multiplayer combat party game. So, do I recommend playing it? Yes, if you're not going to be insulted by the... It's not even particularly questionable material. I'm not X-Play going, oh my god, is Shadow the Hedgehog racist because it calls them the Black Aliens? And I'm like, no, the race of aliens are called Black Arms. Okay, just because they keep saying Black Aliens in it does not mean what you think it means. X-Play sucked. Ooga Booga Yeah, I recommend it if you're not going to get offended. And we're just going to swiftly move on from that whole topic because I'm not in the mood. My top 3. So this is going to be weird for some people because one of these most people probably haven't heard of. One of these is a licensed game, and the other one of these is normally in most people's top 1. It's normally the favourite game or the second. Sonic Adventure 2 is mostly here because I played the GameCube port first and I wanted this version. So I did actually track down a very nice copy of Sonic Adventure 2 for the original Dreamcast. I have played it. There are some differences, but to be honest with you, much like Mac and X, there is a better port on the GameCube, and that better port is not 50-60 quid. So, yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is period my favourite Sonic game. Bar none. And I've played most of them. But then again, I'm also one of those people who hated Mania, so... oh well. Wacky me. Yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 is just flat out my favourite Sonic game because it is the Sonic game. It is the 3D Sonic game. It is the one that everybody uses as... here's the benchmark. Here is historically basically any other... hang on, let me grab a different game. Here's the benchmark. Here is historically pretty much every other Sonic game. I say pretty much. Sonic Adventure 2 is the sort of well, yeah, it is the hurdle. I personally don't think we have played a game that is as good, or as varied, or as well put together, or has had as much impact story-wise. Now, I would love Sonic Team to go, right, okay, here's what worked with Sonic X Shadow Generation, specifically the Shadow Generations part, and here's what worked with Frontiers. So this sort of open world environment, go super fast, la-di-da, works. It works when we don't do it in forced 2D perspective. Frontiers. Fuck off. It just works when it's in 3D. And it's a 3D Sonic game that works, and that's great. And we can maybe, in the levels, work in 2D. Done. Sorted. If you want to have your cake and eat it, do that. But Sonic Adventure 2 didn't need to have 2D. It just went, here's 3D. It works. It works very well. Pretty much every level in this game is playable, short of maybe the Rouge one, where you are on a time limit in the prison, which I have played once. I beat it on the first try, and I will never play it again. Absolutely never play that level again, because it can fuck off. I only beat it I only beat it through sheer luck. Sheer dumb luck. But yeah, the problem with the Dreamcast port is, yes, it's probably the definitive, it's pretty, it's the best Sonic game. It's not the best version. And to be honest with you, I only really own it because it's Sonic Adventure 2. If you want to play the best version of this game, you are looking at the various ports that have been done throughout the years. You are looking... because they're all ports of the GameCube version. So it's got the multiplayer, it's got the graphical upgrades, it's got the shitload more content. Like, I'm still finding out things about this bloody game years on. But it's the GameCube port. The only reason this game is in 3 is just because I like it that much. And I think it deserves to be. If you were to ask me honestly, Sonic Adventure 2 wouldn't be on this top 10 Dreamcast list. But because it is such an influential title and a huge part of my childhood, it is at number 3. What beat Sonic Adventure 2? How about Alien Front Online? Yeah, so when I got the Dreamcast, way back in the day, about 13 years ago now, I've had this console for 13 years. It works perfectly, which is nice. And I've got a lot of games for it. I've even got games like Shenmue 1, Shenmue 2, classics. I've got other games that I do want to get. But anyway, this was one of 3 that I wanted from America, almost exclusively. Another one was Don't Panic Seaman. Yes, I know. It's Don't Panic Seaman, that game is quite expensive now. And the other one was Ooga Booga. So, oopsie. Why Alien Front Online? To be honest with you, 4 versus 4 network play. You can still play this online. It is still active. The Dreamcast servers are still technically up. Admittedly, they're more third-party now, but there are Dreamcast servers and there are people playing this. Secondly, it had real-time voice chat. You could send people very short, brief messages, basically calling them anything under the sun, as per classic Xbox Live back in 2011, playing Halo Reach. But this started it. Secondly, or thirdly, rather, it's aliens taking over the planet and you get to play as giant tripods blowing up tanks or tanks blowing up giant alien tripods. It's a fuck of a lot of fun. It is genuinely some of the best fun I've had on this console. Only beaten out by one other. And here's where I'm going to go, hey, my favourite game on the Dreamcast is not your regular stuff. It's not Blue Stinger. It's not Sonic Adventure 1. It's not even Sonic Adventure 2. It is Spawn in the Demon's Hand. I fucking love this game. I really, really, really like this game. I've played a couple Spawn games in the past. I've played, I think I played the PS1 game that was shit. And then I've played the, I played Spawn Armageddon. You won't be able to see it in the video, but it's up there next to, as part of my top bunch of favourite games on that system. Spawn the Demon's Hand is a multiplayer sort of 3D brawler with a bunch of characters from Spawn. I think Keith David actually voices Spawn in this. 36 characters, original arcade and tournament mode, and 4-player team battle. It's Out-Trigger and Heavy Metal Geomatrix done properly, done well, done very, very well, very, very well indeed. I really, really just I love this game. I love this game. It's so good. It's legitimately just absolutely fantastic. So I picked this up 3 years ago? 3 years ago for 60 quid. It's quite expensive. Because I'd seen some footage and I went, hey, that looks interesting. That looks like Out-Trigger. That looks like Heavy Metal Geomatrix. I wonder how that plays. It's my favourite game on the whole system. It is so bloody good. It's so much fun. It really, really genuinely is. And I'm so happy to own it. I really am. I'm really happy to own Spawn in the Demon's Hand. It's not a game you're going to see pop up again. I mean, you're just not. Capcom again. Capcom again. Capcom have been on here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. They've been on this list 5 times. I'm not a Capcom guy. I don't like Resident Evil. I don't like Monster Hunter. I don't like basically any of the stuff they've done historically. I don't like Street Fighter. I don't like the vast majority of this crap. And yet, Power Stone, Techromancer, Power Stone 2, Heavy Metal Geomatrix, Spawn in the Demon's Hand. I don't like Mega Man. I don't like the vast majority of Capcom properties just because they're just not for me. I'm not big on survival horror. I'm not big on overly excessively challenging side-scrolling gameplay. I hate fighting games. I do. Don't get me started on the Neo Geo. That will be in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm sat here going, right, okay, these games are great. These games are fantastic. I really like them. Why? Why do I like Spawn in the Demon's Hand so much? Why do I like Out-Trigger? Why do I like just the real bizarre stuff? This is a bizarre list. About the only things on here that people typically go, oh yeah, are probably House of the Dead 2, the Power Stone games, and Sonic Adventure. The rest? I doubt would even cross anybody's mind. I own things like Sega Rally. I own, other stuff. I've got Virtua Fighter 3 third on here, and they're just not as good. They're just not as good. You'll see that with a lot of my my top 10 lists over the years, over the last couple of years. I just haven't liked the typical stuff that people typically like. I mean, I watch Happy Console Gamer quite a lot, and I've seen him put, oh yeah, Skyrim is one of my favourite games of all time. Breath of the Wild is my favourite game of all time. I'm sat here going, nah, nowhere near. And I like Skyrim, but I've played that game too much. I can't play it anymore. I just don't, because, fuck it. I'd rather play this for like 4 or 5 hours with friends than touch Skyrim again, to be honest. You'll see that with my favourite games on the Wii U. My favourite one is not something like 3D World. It's something else entirely. My favourite game on the 360, ignoring Brutal Legend, is probably Universe at War. Yeah, it's Universe at War. My favourite game on the N64 is probably F-Zero X. My favourite GameCube game is Sonic Adventure 2. It's Sonic Adventure 2, but then you've got ones in my top 10 there, which are things like Doshin the Giant and fucking weird shit like that. My favourite Switch game is Triangle Strategy. It's my top 5 all over. Admittedly, I'm thinking of redoing that top 10 list because a lot has changed and a lot of stuff has come back. Halo 2's probably going to take its spot back, guys. It's probably going to come back and go, hey, Mass Effect, fuck off. You're only here because he likes the full re-release of the Legendary Edition. We're going to shove in Halo 2 again. Yeah, it's Halo 2 again. It's Brutal Legend, Halo 2, Stubbs the Zombie, Dust and Elysian, Techno Triangle Strategy. Done. And then it's Mass Effect 3. Or it's the Mass Effect trilogy as a whole. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I have weird tastes, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm a contrarian. I like weird games. So yeah, moving on. That's it for another week. I'm not too sure where we're going to go next week. Maybe we'll do the Neo Geo collection. Maybe we'll do something else. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. But yeah, anyways, guys, thank you very much, and have a good day.